Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Lorraine Ellery Matthews, and my workshop was titled Outsourcing Challenges. The facilitators in my workshop were Helen King from the BMJ and Alice Ellingham from the editorial office. And I'd like to thank them in advance, actually. They were really helpful throughout the workshop. We had a good group of attendees. I will say the majority were suppliers, so I've had to ask them to wear different hats, but we had some good voices in the publishers that attended the workshop as well. Now, the reason for selecting this title and this topic for the workshop was based on thoughts that I've been having over the last few months in regards to the complexity of outsourcing. I undertook a series of interviews with publishing professionals last year, and the results of those I've put into a blog, and I reference those for those attending the workshop, together with some other reports from industry bodies, but not specifically the publishing industry. So there's a bit of a gap of knowledge about outsourcing in our industry. So what did we do in our workshop? Well, basically what we did is we asked the question, what aspects of the scholarly communication process do you outsource, in a poll that we undertook with the group. And from that poll, there are different areas identified as the topics that the delegates wanted to discuss. So content management and IT hosting were grouped together. Peer review, production were grouped together. Marketing and HR were grouped together, so we had 3 subgroups. And these subgroups split up and looked at the challenges and risks of outsourcing and how we can mitigate against those risks. So you can see that there's the poll on the left-hand side, and the outsourcing challenges game that we played was the speedboat challenge, where you can see that the challenges are identified to see what's stopping us from moving the project forward, if you like. And so we had much discussion around those different challenges before we then started to look at the risks involved. So we did, in the workshop 2, group the sales and marketing and the peer review and production team together, because we lost a couple of our delegates, unfortunately, but not many, and we had a very active 2 groups in the end, working on the questions that we posed. And there were various different recommendations that came out of the session, and we've just selected a few here to share with you in this summary. And you can see that there's some interesting feedback here, and we'd be very happy to provide even more for those that were involved in the workshop, but also to the wider delegates in this conference in some charts that we'll share and put on our LinkedIn page or through the Twitter feed. So the key recommendations that came out of the workshop are here on the screen. So for the group that was focusing on hosting of content and management of content, we came up with about 12 different recommendations, but here are just 4 of them. The pre-RFP process, the recommendation was to focus on 5 key questions to filter out suppliers. Now, they were really looking at how the RFP process can be improved in moving forward, and really are challenging the community to rethink the RFP process, especially considering the build and buy distinctions are becoming less black and white. They also recommend that we trust software development as a journey and not a destination, because usually buying and service is important and not a product. And everyone should act as grown-ups. There is an issue of trust between suppliers and she's waving to me. Have I gone over already? Oh gosh, doesn't. Oh, okay then, that's fine. So 30 seconds. Well, I'm going to move on. You can see some of the recommendations that we have for you here, and I would like to call some action to the community. You've seen a survey link in regards to measuring the status quo of outsourcing. Please complete that. That's been fed to you through Twitter. We will feed back the results in a summary in UKSG Insights that I'm publishing in May. But also, more importantly, the group decided that there was so much good conversation and opportunity to really improve some of the processes in outsourcing, regardless of which topic they were covering. They would really like to have another group discussion that can come out with some action and clear artefacts that we can share with the community. So if you're interested in this, then I'm happy to organise that, and the BMJ have suggested that they will be happy to host it here. But all in all, it was a very good collaboration. It's hard to keep it short.